Good day, welcome to the office. Thank you for checking out this video. I would like to tell you before we start that sadly the last bit of the interview we did got lost in time and space, so when it abruptly ends, you'll see me again and I'll have some more words for you. Enjoy! Good day.
Hello, Harry.
Mr. Rene. Where have you been?
I've been home.
You've been home?
Copenhagen.
Copenhagen, yeah. And you are a brewer now?
Yes.
How long have you been brewing?
14 years.
Okay, that's a long time.
Yes.
And what I hear is that you're actually a very good brewer now?
At least I'm working at one of the best breweries in the world.
Oh, okay.
According to statistics and whatever.
Yeah, people who know.
Yeah.
Awesome. What I was most curious about is how did you get into skating? Roller skating back then, of course, but how did you start?
Well, I always roller skated since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
My first roller skates were like strap-ons with like rubber wheels or whatever, almost metal. And then we got some from the child's the toy store, which were much better with, I think it was still rubber wheels. And then when I was, I think 17 or 18, I borrowed money from my dad to buy a pair of Power 33.
Good.
And
was that a hockey skate back
then?
Yeah.
It's, the local skateboard shop had those skates, so I bought them.
Yeah.
And then started skating in the walking area in Copenhagen. There was a lot of young people meeting at a fountain where it was good skating around. And then one day, a guy asked like if I wanted to go to Fællepark, to the skate park. I had never seen a skate park before. I came in and saw the vertical and I'm like, what? Went up, sat down, dropped in.
Sit in? Or?
Yeah, sit in. Then I went on the rolled in, and then I did the standing drop, and then I was back next day and every day.
Holy moly. Do you know what year that would have been?
88.
88.
So I was 18.
Yeah. And you didn't get to it because you saw somebody else? You were just like, okay.
I just saw a skate park for the first time in my life. I'm like, awesome, I'm gonna do this.
Oh, that's splendid.
So I started late.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. You were pretty old for a guy to start.
Yeah, but I came from.
But you had the basics from rolling around and from.
Yeah, but as a kid, I also became a Danish championship for team for trampoline. So I had a bit of the flippy floppy thing.
Yeah.
And after that, I did platform diving.
Oh.
My knees were fucked up from trampoline, so the doctor said you can only do swimming or cycling. And we had the biggest swim hole in the country, in the town where I live. Okay. So it was swimming. And I was laying there and I'm like looking at all the platform divers and I'm like,
why not?
And then I did that, which was even worse for the knees. But yeah, and then skating after that.
So you were basically fucked when you started?
Yes.
That's a feeling I know.
You have to warm up even the...
Yeah. And you started pretty late, but you ended pretty early. But the way it looked in the magazines, you just disappeared before it was before it seemed the time. But that was basically because the body gave up.
Yeah, in '97 I had a fracture on my back in Woodward.
Oh.
And then after that it just went.
It made no more sense to skate.
I did skate like until like the early 2000s, maybe 2002 or so, in a mini ramp, and the 3 last times my back just gave up, and I was not a pro skater anymore. I had to work, so I just decided I need to have a work to make a living. So
you don't want to end up in a wheelchair, skating. Probably.
Yeah.
Which is, you know.
So yeah, that was it.
But it was some crazy years.
It was crazy, yes.
Yeah.
I went fast too, so.
Yeah. Because you were old enough to remember all of it, I reckon. Besides the the beer that took away some.
Well, I did hit my head a lot, so
Yeah.
I actually have a diagnosis, CTE.
Yeah.
So I do. Short-term memory is a bit fucked.
Okay, that's a shame.
So yeah. Well.
Always wear a helmet.
Well, even with the helmet,
Yeah, of
they
course.
don't.
They help.
If you hit hard enough, it's.
You-
And then there's all the micro concussions.
Micro fractures. Yeah.
So
But you would probably be dead without it. So
I don't know.
yeah, you can't. We're not gonna try it. Blimey. So what would you say to you, because you just came into it for your own entertainment? What would be guys you would look up to, or was there anybody you saw skating maybe somewhere later where you were like,
No, when I started on roller skates, there was a Danish guy who was the Danish champion back then, and he had been to the World Championship in Münster in Germany,
yeah,
and he had a video. There was no YouTube or
No.
videos. Everything we were watching was skateboarding and BMXing and trying to copy what they were doing, except the flippy floppy stuff.
Yeah, so you couldn't see guys like Fred Blood that came way before you.
No.
You couldn't see that. No.
No Brian Wainwright. Actually, Brian Wainwright was on the videos from the World Championship. Him and Jimmy Scott,
Yeah.
and then Thomas Karlak and all the Germans, the Lagu brothers and Martin Broich, who invented the backflip.
Yeah.
So I was watching that and just like
Building on that, or
what maybe 3 years after I started, I went to my first competition in Germany in Hamburg, and I won it. And then
91 then.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And we went down to all the competitions we could in Germany.
And that was all roller skating
Yeah,
still.
yeah. So,
Because that, to me, the history always seemed lost until you, or till I got in contact with you, because there's no mags I can find, there's nothing physical remaining of the times, except for the stories or maybe some pictures.
and many of those competitions were like skateboarding and roller skating, or
Yeah.
roller skating and BMXing.
Yeah.
So I met all the people that I had seen on the videos, like
Yeah.
the skateboarders and the BMXers, and they were like my heroes.
I know that.
So I didn't have any roller skate heroes.
No.
But then I got to skate with Brian Wainwright at the World Championship and some other competitions, and he's like the best roller skater ever.
What would you say makes him your best skater ever? Because he kept going, or
his
because
style,
of
his style, it looked so effortless.
Yeah, fluid.
And just good tricks. It looked like if he just come flying by and it would look like a skateboarder just.
Yeah, I always thought, especially after watching your videos, we kind of skate alike, because I always feel like I'm skating like a giant, just smashing everywhere, or like a Hulk. And you see the same in your early videos, where you're really using a lot of force, and then the later videos you see you're going more fluid and using the momentum more.
Yeah,
Is that something that just happened, or was that a choice? Like, I want to look like a certain way of
no,
skating.
it's
Just the tricks, maybe.
it's when you begin, it's hard. You have to learn. So it takes time. And then
So maybe in 20 years I'll be there.
it's for some it's natural, and from others it's not. You just have to land right under the coping.
Yeah, and don't jump away from it.
Yeah,
Never jump away from it.
I've never happened to me.
No, you never fall, right?
No,
I saw the video.
but I'm a big liar.
Yeah, you never lie and you never fall.
Yeah,
And you don't drink beer.
no.
Cool. So when you stopped skating, what did you? You were already working somewhere else before you stopped skating, or were you like, I have to stop?
When my career stopped, when I was still living in Munich,
Yeah.
so I moved back to Denmark, and then for 1 year I was like working as a sort of team manager for rollerblade.
Okay.
No, for Roses.
Yeah, of course.
And then I got a job at the hospital.
Oh.
At the leukemia station,
Yeah.
and then I did that, and in that time, while I was traveling with skating, I discovered beer. Like
The passion for beer.
yeah, because I'm from a brewer family. My father always worked at Carlsberg, so it was Carlsberg,
Yeah.
or Tuborg. But then traveling, I discovered that there was actually beers
Real
that,
beer.
like the one that opened my eyes was Chemin Bleu.
Yeah.
I was like, this is beer.
Yeah. There's so much taste in
It was so good.
Oh.
So I started like trying every beer I could when I was traveling, and then when I settled in Copenhagen, I started homebrewing. And then half a year after starting homebrewing, I won gold and silver at the Danish Championship for homebrewers. And half a year after that, I was employed by a brewery.
Okay.
So
It went fast.
it went pretty fast.
Yeah, I always wonder. I see this a lot with people who are successful in sports. They seem to be successful after that in different fields. You mentioned someone yesterday who was a pro skater and now is a big company. There's a lot of. Do you think it's the mentality? What do you reckon? Is it about people that
I don't
excel
know.
in many?
I don't know.
No,
Like,
okay. Yeah, maybe you noticed something.
I've just never done anything half. It's
Yeah.
always been 100%.
Yeah.
And the same with brewing. It was like,
This is what I do now.
yeah. And now it's disc golf,
Yeah.
and it's
okay.
100%.
Oh, gorgeous.
So play
Gorgeous.
almost every day.
But you're still passionate about the beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your passion for skating nowadays? Is there anything you follow or anything you're interested in?
I actually just watch a lot of X Games, but skateboarding and
Yeah.
BMX dirt.
Yeah.
There is no rollerblading. I see on Facebook people post from different groups, so if it's something that's interesting, I look at it.
Yeah.
But I'm not really following it.
No, me neither. Honestly,
Not really.
I only watch FISE, FISE. That's the only competition I follow. But I watch all the sports there because it's just I like the concept.
Okay. Never heard of it.
Oh no, doesn't really matter. I think it's the only international circuit going on. Of course, right now it's nothing because of the state of the world. But when it is, they have a couple stops a year.
Yeah.
And if you win a comp, I believe they take you to the next one or something like that. So it's a possibility for a skater to actually get to see the world and get to live the life that in the 90s was. It seemed like it was handed to people, and now you would have to kill for it. If you want to rollerblade around the world, you'd have to be a gypsy, or you'd have to be. Well, you'd have to be crazy, basically.
We have one here. James.
Yeah, there's a couple of people like that.
Yeah, James is traveling around just hobo style.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, I believe.
It's awesome. That's how I started.
Okay.
Like,
Did you not get a van or something? You just
no Interrail.
Okay.
Interrail. Just
Okay.
going from town to town that had a skate park,
Oh, that's sick.
or from competition to competition.
Yeah. Now you had some of the, I would say, best products to your name. Cosmo wheels.
Yeah.
How did it work back then to get a sponsor? Did you? Because now people, I saw, I believe last week there was a person asking on Facebook, how do I get a sponsor? And I'm like, I don't believe it works like that. You just have to be the person they want, and they'll find you. Because how was that back in the 80s and the 90s?
Well, it was actually a bit crazy because I was working as a printer, and then I went to the Lausanne, on Interrail, and the Titus guy, he gave me a pair of Moscow inline skates.
Yeah.
So
Those were your first then.
yeah, and I ended down in Marseille with Toto, and we were skating the Marseille Bowl, and I then tried the rollerblades. And then when I got home, I switched to rollerblades because they said there was a big competition in Lausanne,
Yeah.
like 3 months later or so.
Yeah.
So went home 3 months just practicing on the rollerblades.
90. So earlier. No, that must have been earlier.
Yeah, it was the first one.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking very hard here.
So went down there.
So you took another train?
Met Andy Wharton from Daily Bird magazine,
Yeah.
and she said like, you need to go to the States. You could become a pro.
Yeah.
I went home, quit my job, and then I went to Lausanne, sold my everything, pretty much everything I owned, and the apartment was my father's. So my kid brother moved in, and I jumped on a plane to the States, and that was it.
There you were.
And it worked.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
Did you have? You had Angie as a contact there then?
Yeah. I went there and I stayed at the Daily Bread magazine's house,
Headquarters,
where Tom Fry, Manuel Valerius, and a few others were staying there. And they then introduced me to. Someone said something that Talk with Roses, that they should get me.
Okay.
And then Tom Fry, I think, helped me get onto Cosmo. So it was just.
Did you meet the people who were going to sponsor you before you got anything, or was it just like, okay?
No, Roses sent me a big box with new skates and helmet and
Anything you needed?
yeah. And then at some point in time, I went to
Marbella?
Montebelluna.
Montebelluna, yeah. I was thinking how it was called.
And I signed contract.
Okay. Was it lucrative to skate like that in those days, or was it still like a normal day job?
The first contracts were like good money, but not like wow.
Yeah.
In the end, and with more sponsors, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think there's a belief with people that if you were skating at the highest moments of skating, you would be like set for life. But I have a feeling you would have to be the brand owner or the company, you know, the head honcho.
Yeah, I don't think like. I don't know if Chris Edwards maybe made some good money from the beginning. I made pretty good money, but not set for life.
No,
at no means. And I was very good at spending them, so.
You need a hobby, so.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of parties.
Okay, yeah. What would you say was the best contest you've been to?
Lausanne.
Yeah.
By far.
Okay. Just the atmosphere and.
Yeah, it was a big party.
It's what I imagine the place we're at now, only big and with more people.
Yeah, and there was so many audience. It was insane.
Okay.
I think the third year of Lausanne.
Yeah.
That was the one when Manuel Valerius won, and I got second. When they called my name for my first run, the roar of the people.
Yeah.
I totally lost it. I got like, I couldn't skate.
Jittery.
Yeah, I was just chill.
Oh, damn.
I couldn't skate. It was like, what is happening?
Yeah, you were famous.
Under this tent, it was just so intense. Like, what?
By the sound of it, you would like FIS, the competition I mentioned. There's one in France, and the entire city is action sports.
Okay.
So there's a ramp here, and there's skiing there. Not skiing. there's all kinds of sports all over the place. But that sounds a bit like that.
As long as it's not like X Games, I'm fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. There's a lot of talk from people who think we should get back in the X Games, and the only thing I think is if the sport would suddenly explode, the last thing you would want to do is go to the X Games. You have to build your own stuff.
Yes, I agree. But I think for some skaters it would be a perfect thing.
Yeah.
For me it was not.
No.
I didn't like the X Games. But for some it would be good. You can look at skateboarding and BMXing, how it has helped the sport grow.
I don't know if it has helped as much as you would think. But you know, I'm a bit of a cynic, so.
Yeah. It looks like it's to me, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, there's so much going on with those sports that it's hard to say what actually brought it back, if it actually gone anywhere anyway. So.
It's a bit more mainstream now. More people see it, which means the sport grows.
I think skateboarding just had a hate campaign for 20 years against all other sports and pushed everybody else down, and then the fashion. It came back into fashion, and they were already bolstered up. And of course, they had time from the 70s to prepare. Yeah, all the companies are so old.
Yeah, but the skateboarding went like high and then a low, and
in the 90s it almost disappeared.
So
I believe Tony Hawk was like, okay, I'm still skating, but I can't pay anything anymore.
yeah, that's what happened to rollerblading. So let's see if it comes back up.
Are you to that extent? Are you happy that you got out when you stopped? That you didn't see or did you see the decline coming even?
Not really. I was thinking of skateboarding and how rollerblading became so big so fast, and I was thinking this is gonna blow.
Yeah.
But it blew a bit earlier than I had thought.
And a bit bigger.
Yeah, but I was so broken, so I didn't choose to leave. I was forced to leave.
Yeah, but still interesting to hear if you saw anything coming. But yeah, you were
it was
like,
the same with BMXing. That was also so it's.
Yeah,
I always saw it as sister sports or brother sports.
Yeah.
So
it seems to happen with all of them, because it was the same with roller skating way before, when Fred Blood was skating and Wayne White was skating. Then it became BMX was the hot thing for a couple of years, mostly flat ground I believe, and then skateboarding came back for a while, and then inline skating came up, and then skateboarding came up again. So
yeah. What a ride.
Yeah. It's a roller coaster for everybody.
Yeah.
What would you like in the future for the sport or the people involved? Is there anything you're like, I wish this would come back?
It would be nice for all those young skaters who are passionate about it to experience something like what I experienced, because it was awesome.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that would be nice.
The best thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And don't kill yourself.
Yeah, stay safe out there. That's quite kind of important. That's really important even.
It's not worth it.
No. It's nice for a while, and then you wake up every day and you have pain everywhere, and you're like...
Yeah, I just remember at a South American tour, we went to a city west of Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
And we did a show, and then there was this local skater who wanted to like show what he could do, and he was trying to do backflip, double backflip all the time, and he was falling, and it was so dangerous. We had to tell him like, stop.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth it. Like
you're gonna kill yourself, or
we're gonna clap if you land, and but
yeah, or
you're gonna kill yourself.
If he doesn't land, you're still gonna be happy for him. So
you're gonna kill yourself. It's not worth it.
It's the same with Jaron Grob. He fell once and it was like almost over.
Okay.
And it still happens.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
He's still skating strong.
Yeah, it's amazing that he still got up from all of that.
Yeah.
He just fell to the ground instead of on the ramp. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah. Well, I've seen that. Holger Sander did that. He did a over the head Mac twist and missed the ramp and hit his brother in the head. He was fine, the brother was not.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be on jump wires next time, so they can pull you back up if you fall.
Yeah, but when the ramps are this small, then...
Yeah, it's not very wide, it's not very high. Was there a type of ramp you prefer, or does it depend what tricks you want to do?
I grew up on a ramp with 1 meter vert, so I like vert. And I remember going to the States and at all the NIS competitions and all that, it just went to vert, and it was like a mini ramp.
Yeah.
So you had to like kind of jump
up from the ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can understand that. Yeah, there's a lot of people who know more about verts that say that the many verts are made for skateboarding, not for inline. But by the way, you're telling me it could be the other way around as well.
Yeah, I see. I've been on many skateboard ramp built for skateboard, but with plenty of vert.
Yeah, but perfect for you as well.
Yeah.
Sweet. Do you want to say anything about the beer bottle you're showing up?
This is Roland, the guy who's arranging this competition. It's the brewery where he works. It's a Wochengerbrau. This is a Helles.
Yeah.
It's a damn good beer.
Okay, sweet. Sweet. Everybody should come here next year, I suppose, or
Yeah, it's getting bigger every year, and it's a fun contest. It's like very relaxed, and there's a party and music, and
I'll put some details in the video so people can check it out for next year.
yeah.
But this year it's a birthday party. It's not a contest.
Who has birthday?
It's a birthday party. We're not here for a contest
Okay.
because of restrictions.
Ah. yeah.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
I believe my friend Nick had a question. And I'm not really sure if I asked it that way. He was wondering if there was what was the most interesting or coolest or whatever, the most interesting person you met on your way as a skater. Was it a skater or was it somebody else? Or
Interesting person.
yeah, somebody you connected with or somebody you looked up to.
There were so many great people.
Yeah. More about the
and
moment.
I was traveling a lot as in the Roses team, so I was a lot together with Tom Fry and Cesar Mora. And
Those are good
really,
guys.
really awesome guys.
Yeah.
So I couldn't say one.
No. I would have imagined as much, but he asked, so I thought I'd ask as well. Now on the Roses connection, skates from you, and there's some interesting ones in there.
You didn't get them, you paid for them.
I paid for them, yeah, but I still got them after a year of waiting. So
Yeah, that was crazy.
it's an interesting story as well.
Yes.
There's a couple skates there that seem pre-production or seem a bit different. Was there a lot of look from Roses to you guys in the team to help them make the skate?
Yeah, we went. All the skaters was flown in, and then we sat with the engineers and we told them what we wanted.
Okay.
And then they would make it and then call us in again, and we had a look at it and go like, nah, change this, change that.
Yeah.
So,
And what skates would you say did you help them on, or did you guide them on back then?
I think pretty much everything after Majestic 12.
Yeah, because that was already coming out in '96.
Yeah, because we got the, what was it called? The one with the big frame that went all the way around, and then I don't remember the names of the skates.
Or the Rome, or the ones before the Majestic 12?
No, after the one right after. Because we wanted like a wider grind plate, and then the whole UFC system was.
Yeah, first they went to the Fifth Element. You know, on the
Yeah, that was it.
the wider version of the Majestic 12 case. Yeah.
And the skate was a bit different, the shoe.
Because everything before that was a Majestic 12 boot with a different frame. So you had the Impalas with the beer opener in it.
Yeah. The Impala was great, except the way that they were mounted.
Okay. Yeah, they would probably unscrew.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I tried to fly in the air and then land, and my one leg just go like.
Oh, yeah,
the
I've
other
been
way.
there. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can't look it up. There's not enough Loctite in the world. No. Okay. So the Fifth Element, and then they came things like Kuti and the Graal,
Yeah, the Grail, yeah.
and that's probably the end of the.
Yeah, and then we were working on some new softer plastic stuff,
Yeah.
and like the cuffs and.
Okay. To get more
Yeah.
more maneuverability.
I think that was about the last things I was involved with.
Yeah. But I don't think they made much after that anyway. For a while, because the money ran out and
Sport.
they had stock for years, which they were still selling a couple of years ago. So they really ran out of everything.
Yeah.
If there was a chance for you to go again to a country where you went to when you were skating, what country would you want to come back to see more of?
Well, South Africa I've been there 15 times. It's such an awesome country, but I've been there so many times, so probably choose
right
another.
now you wouldn't want to go to South Africa.
No.
I believe.
Australia, but it's so far away.
Yeah, but if it was possible,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would go to a country I haven't been to.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Definitely New Zealand.
And that is where the cameras stop working. Sadly, we do not have the rest of the interview. Instead, René would like to thank Roland Kuschel, the guy who organized the event we were at. And beyond that, he would like to thank all the sponsors he had that made the amazing experience, amazing journeys he had possible, and all the people that were involved back then, all the people he met. He would like to thank all of them. Of course, he told me he's very happy I emptied his cellar for him and he no longer has all the old skate stuff, and I'm very, very happy that it's with me now. I'm gonna make something nice out of it. You will see in the future. On behalf of René and myself, I would like to thank you all for watching this video, and I'm hopeful that I'm gonna be able to do stuff like this in the future. We will see. For now, have a great day, and I hope you watch the next one as well. Goodbye.